Now, if this guy becomes a pop, I will be truly impressed. Going to Tennessee, Joe Milton. And I want to like Joe Milton. He is supposed to be a great young man, good teammate, transfer from Michigan. The UVA game, the season opener, he looked fantastic. UVA is not a very good football team for a ton of reasons, not all of them football related. This week against Florida, they're playing in Florida. Florida on paper, Tennessee was ranked 11th. Florida was unranked. But Joe Milton he struggled with consistency. He struggles with consistency when he's thrown on the run. And that's a problem when you leave the pocket too early frequently because you're not trusting what you're seeing. He throws with zero anticipation. And we've seen that's a problem that's plaguing Justin Fields now. And it's not all on Justin Fields. That offense is an absolute disaster. But if you're not throwing with anticipation in the NFL, it's going to make your life a lot easier. You see him throw that great touchdown pass, that little seam ball that was layered in perfectly. And then he comes back on a 3rd and 6 and short hops a slant. And those are the things that drive you crazy when you're trying to figure out what is this going to look like at the next level. And I don't say this to crap on the kid. I'm just saying if you're drafting a quarterback, you have to look at these things and say, okay, what does this mean as we move forward? He's athletic, but he's not Anthony Richardson athletic. I think he's more Drake May athletic in terms of trying to win with his feet down the field. So what are we doing with Joe Milton?
The other thing that bothered me a little bit, and I was watching that game a little bit as much as I could, was that it seemed like they had struggled getting the plays in, or with the atmosphere and him, they had to use some forced timeouts, which drove me crazy. Whether that's game management, what that's him not getting the signal, they're not getting the signals in fast enough to him. I don't know, but there was a disconnect there too, that they burned some timeouts that I think were preventable, but I don't know the reason where the disconnect was. I agree with you. He was a drop for me. I do love the arm talent. Some of the throws he makes are wild throws both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
So, but there's something there's some kind of disconnect there, and what I've seen so far of him. And I still have a lot of questions. If I knew that the number of quarterbacks that are coming out in this draft, and I would really consider him, if I was him, to go back to school to get another year in. If he has
Is he eligible? He's been around forever.
Yeah, I don't know if he's eligible or not, but if he's eligible, take another year. But I'm seeing some. You're going to get, and I don't want to compare him yet to him. It's too early, but I'm seeing some Jamarcus Russell in him.
Now, just to clarify, just because Jamarcus Russell, you would know better than I, he worked 0 hours to get better at his craft.
I don't know anything on the off field.
You're just talking about on the field. Okay. I just want to be clear about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's just what I see on the field, because he just locks in, and it's almost like he predetermines his throw.
Yeah.
And he's throwing it to that guy no matter what.
Right.
Whether he's open or not open. He doesn't scan the field. He never moves the safety with his eyes. He doesn't process and go through his progressions. It's all, like I said, all or none on what he's seeing. And sometimes the all is great. Sometimes the none is not great.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, he didn't seem to play with a ton of confidence. And you sort of compare that to what Spencer Rattler's doing, where he's just getting punched in the face and he's getting back up. He's going through his reads.
Well, you may also, I don't want to make excuse for him too, is that's just maybe experience. Because Rattler been through a lot of games, been through a lot of hostile environments.
That's true.
His first time starting in his career. And
here's the other thing, and Debo just pointed this out to me. He's in his 6th year, so I don't think he can't come back.
No,
I don't know. I mean,
for me,
he gets a lot of balls batted down the line of scrimmage, which is a weird thing when you're 6'4", 6'5", and I don't know if that's just because he's throwing 99-mile-an-hour fastballs and everything. And it feels like when he tries to throw the changeup that he struggles with the accuracy. He's pretty good on the short, quick throws, which is, hits the ball. It gives the receiver a chance to get yards after catch. But you can't play in the NFL if all you're doing is throwing tunnel screens and you have a Nolan Ryan fastball, to date myself with a baseball term. All right, so it sounds like your drop. I think I'm going to be a drop on this. Your comp was Jamarcus. I wrote down a bigger Malik Willis, but I think Malik Willis is further advanced in terms of where he is, because Malik went in the 3rd round.
Yeah, but Malik Willis was a better athlete.
Better athlete too. Yeah, no, that's true. Joe's a day 3 guy, maybe. Like if he got undrafted, I wouldn't be shocked. If he went,
yeah, someone may take a swing on him late just because
Yeah.
of the size and the arm talent, but he's a project.
he's a project. A lot of tools, but I mean, it's got to be realistic about it. Okay, a lot of season left, so he can certainly fix that. A guy who's not a project, and my goodness, this guy, his arm must be iced. They must ice his arm down between quarters. Michael Penix, quarterback, Washington. The game plan was to throw bombs and then to throw more bombs.
Game plan is throw bombs.
They played Michigan State. They beat the brakes off Michigan State. I think it was at least 28-0 at one point. I don't know how out of hand it got. They had him. I think Michael played into the fourth quarter. He's definitely played 3 quarters. 3 quarters in, and they were up by 400 points. He was still throwing bombs. He consistently throws on time and accurate. Look, he faced zero pressure. This was basically a 7-on-7 drill for him, but he throws off platform well. He can throw both going to his left and to his right accurately. He throws with anticipation. The only thing, and we've talked about this and you've mentioned it, he has the injuries, but he's been healthy for a little bit here. That's good. He's a little older, but that doesn't matter when you're a quarterback. I remain impressed with what Michael Penix Jr. has done, given where he was when he transferred from Indiana.
Yeah, his biggest negative is his mobility. And but he's putting up numbers, and it's a shame that everything that's going on at Michigan State right now and everything.
Yeah.
They didn't look like they really came out and competed much this game.
Hard to blame them.
And there were shots down the field. This kid has 2 pretty good receivers, and he has a lot of faith in them putting the ball up and them going to get the ball. Now, I give him credit because he's very accurate as a down the field thrower. Only negative I have on him right now is the mobility, and can he get outside the pocket? I don't agree with the accuracy as much outside the pocket as you do.
Is he more athletic than Tua? Because he feels like Tua-ish to me.
Now there you go. Because when he's on time with his throws, that's what makes Tua so good right now, is the timing, because he gets the ball out. And when this kid gets the ball out, I know the both left-handers, I don't think he is at Tua's level.
No. I just mean athletically, though.
Tua may be a little more athletic.
Okay.
This kid just looks stiff through his lower body, and probably because of all the
his knees hurt.
Yeah. But he does have arm talent, and he's going to catch people's attention.
Does anyone throw a better deep ball in college football right now?
Shadir is close.
Shadir is close.
Caleb Williams can fling the ball deep too.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not even talking about Caleb Williams because we're so caught up in all these other guys, which is pretty funny. And you mentioned the 2 wide receivers for the Huskies, Rome Odunze. We talked about him in the summer scouting. He had a good game, and of course, the other receiver that I actually like a little more, I think you do too, Jalen McMillan, number 11. Both those guys are just playmakers, and it helps to have a quarterback to get you the ball. And that's exactly what Michael Penix has been doing, and he's in the final year of his eligibility as well. You pop?
Pop.
Does Michael Penix, is he a day 2 guy? I feel like he is.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in the Friday. There's a bunch of these guys jockeying for 3 through 7 or 8, whatever they are, the Bo Nixes of the world.
Yeah, you're talking about rankings, not draft. Like they're
Yeah.
And they all may end up in day 2.
Yeah, that's why I think this is a very deep draft class for quarterbacks after the 2, but not in the first round. They may all be Friday guys, but it'll eventually, someone's going to pop by the time we get to the draft in 219 days. There may be more guys entering into that first round.
More? All right. We'll do a couple more guys here, then we'll take a break unless Debo instructs me otherwise. All right. This is a guy that's been requested on the 5-star reviews that they want to hear us talk about him. We talked about him a little bit last week with Josh Edwards, who had them going in the first round. Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy. I went back and watched the ECU opener, where, as you warned, there was no defense being played in that game, and it was J.J. looked great. He struggled a little bit in this game in terms of some of his throws, but some of the other throws you can see why he's so intriguing. The athleticism we know about. That offense in Michigan, they only on the field for 45 snaps, which is insanely low if you're talking about college football games, which can run into the 80s and sometimes 90s for offensive and defensive snaps. Craig Emilio asked about the JJ McCarthy of the 5-star review, so shout out to Craig for that. He throws with anticipation at times. The first interception against Bowling Green looks like he was looking left to his tight end. It was covered. He came back to the right to try to hit the over, and he didn't see the backside defensive back. And you would like to have him see that. I don't know the exact reasons for the miscue, but it's just something that you make a note about. Sometimes I thought he got a little jumpy in clean pockets, and when he sort of felt there was pressure coming, even if the running back picked up the blitz, and that's something you're a little concerned about. And I wanted to see him be a little more consistent on the downfield throws. He threw some darts downfield. One of the touchdown throws was a great throw. Then other ones he missed by 5 or 6 yards on overthrows. They would come back and layer it in perfectly. So just a little bit more consistency. What do you think?
Yeah, I really thought, he played well at the end of last year in the Ohio State game and in the TCU game in the shootout. Although he made a couple mistakes, but he kept bringing him back and had him in the game late. When you watch the first couple games of this season, you mentioned ECU, he looked like he took another step forward. And
yeah,
Josh said he was his number 3 quarterback. And I wasn't so sure that he wasn't based off what I've seen so far this year, but I thought he really dropped in this game. He wasn't a pop like he was in the other games that I watched this season. It looked like it was Bowling Green. He was almost overconfident and trying to do some of the things that he was trying to do. He's not going to get away with that once they start conference play. I mean, you don't throw an interception in the red zone. That's just a poor decision that he made down there. And he forced some things that he normally doesn't do. So he just needs to go out there and be consistent each week, week in and week out. He does have a strong enough arm. He throws with anticipation. He throws a catchable ball. He makes accurate throws at all levels of the field. He is athletic. He has all the traits that you're looking for. But this game, he seemed to be off, or he seemed to be forcing things for whatever reason. And whether it was overconfident or, hey, it's Bowling Green, so I'll take chances here, he can't make those same type of mistakes as they go forward into the season.
I'll use the word disappointment. You can change it if you want to. More disappointing in Drake May versus App State last week, which was not an ACC opponent, or more disappointed in the Bowling Green performance by JJ McCarthy?
Probably more disappointed in this one.
Okay.
Because it was nice. There was no weather conditions in this one.
Yeah. And Bowling Green came out to play too. They acted like they were Colorado State out there, the way they were dialing it up on defense.
Yep.
Did it sound like a drop from you?
Yes.
I'm going to go drop as well. He's still a day 2, probably second round guy for me right now. How you feel about that?
Yeah. The way he was trending, I would have put him in day 1.
Yeah.
But then this game, all of a sudden you let's put on the brakes here. Let's wait and see what he does when he plays against some of the big boys.
You want to hear my comp?
Yeah, I'd love to hear your comp. I look forward to your comps. I really did.
Hold on to your seat there, buddy. Desmond Ridder. Oh, I lost him. He's a better arm than Desmond, but it's just the athletic.
More accurate passer than Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That was one of my big concerns with Des coming out.
Maybe similar type athlete. I don't think it's the same size as Desmond Ridder.
Who's bigger? You think Des is bigger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Des was pretty thick.
Yeah.
So I would say athleticism, I would agree with you. Accuracy, this kid, when he doesn't do what he did in the Bowling Green game,
when he doesn't throw 3 picks, he's really accurate. He is where I agree. And I think he has a little better arm. But plenty of time to sort out this stuff here.